Welcome to Soul Sisteries.
I just have to say that was an amazing interview, sister. I absolutely loved talking to our special guest today.
Can you believe that this guest had the time for us and came and shared? And I mean, I'm so excited. And he remembered everything.
Not that he remembered things from our childhood, from our children's childhoods. He remembers everything. I mean, he really does see it all.
He remembered all about your skateboard, sis.
Yes, he remembered the wheels on the skateboard.
Oh my gosh. He is just one of the most amazing people ever, and definitely is the spirit of hope for just people around the world, right? And certainly spirit of hope for this season of the year.
For sure. For sure. I can't wait for everybody to listen.
It's gonna be great. So everybody gather round. You're gonna wanna listen to this guy. He's got some great stuff to share. I can't wait for you to hear what we just heard.
And bring your kids. Let your kids gather around when you listen.
Oh my gosh, we're so lucky. We're so lucky. We gotta talk to the guy. A full conversation.
Not just in the movies, not just, on when we go to the mall, not just when we we get to send letters. I didn't know that we would ever get to have this conversation.
No way. So everybody listen in. Get ready to enjoy this next episode, this very special episode of Soul Sisteries. Woo! And ho, ho, ho. We are so excited right now because we have a special guest here at Soul Sisteries. Can't even believe how lucky we got to get this guy to come and talk to us today. I mean, you all know him. He's amazing. He's one of our favorite people in the world, for sure. Everyone's favorite person, because, I mean, the magic and the light and the love that he brings everywhere he goes. And he's filled with so much hope, yes, and jolliness. I mean, do you know who I'm talking about? Can you even believe it? You guys, it's Santa! Santa is here with us. Oh, Santa, thank you. Oh my gosh. We know that this is like your busiest time of the year for sure. So that you took a minute to be here with us means the world. Thank you.
Well, you are very, very welcome, my dears.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good to see you today, Santa. I didn't know I'd get to see you before Christmas Eve, so this is wonderful.
This is very special, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so special. And I know everybody wants to hear from you, Santa. So if it's all right with you, we're just gonna ask you some questions and hear from you what it is you want to share. Because we talked a little bit, that what we do here is share stories of hope and resilience. And, people walking those life's journeys that, can often be challenging, but moving forward with the best of what it is that we are as human beings and what we do. And so we use as part of our podcast the tagline hope through, and we ask each of our guests what their hope through word is, and we're making an assumption with you, Santa. We're assuming that your hope is through giving, because I mean that is what you do, that your whole world is about that. So talk to us a little bit about that. Is giving at the heart and center of what what your purpose, your hope is?
Absolutely, my dear. As a matter of fact, if you go back in time to the very roots of who Santa Claus might be, you would find that there is a story of a young man named Nicholas of Myrna. And Nicholas was a gift giver. He would go around and look for those in need, and if they left shoes out, he'd drop his coins in. And this was in the 4th century.
My goodness. So this has been a very long journey, but always at the heart of you. That just like a calling that you were born with, it sounds like.
I think that each of us is born with this calling.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, some have let it get buried by other bits of information that have gotten in the way. But you'll find that when a person is feeling their best, they give their love freely. And what more can one give than their love?
Oh, Santa.
And to, so many people, throughout the year, but even coming into the holiday season, tend to lose hope. I'm curious, I guess, what gives you hope and how we can share that hope with others.
Well, the children, of course, dreams and wishes abound, and cynicism is minimal.
Mm.
However, when one knows that they can make a difference, as the children do, then the difference is already made. That is the beauty of it. Sometimes, as people get older, they get in the way of themselves,
Mm.
come concerned about the world outside in ways that are going to affect the person inside. And as soon as we can release some of those and go back to the giving part of ourselves, the world becomes an even better place.
That is, I mean, those are words of wisdom right there for sure. I know that that's true for me, as I get in my worries and my pain, and I tend to go inward, and there's suffering there, and I would never mean to suggest to anybody that they should dismiss the reality of their experience. We don't deny what's there, but I do know that for me, and exactly what it is that you're talking about, Santa, that when we then take that and turn it outwards and we become focused on supporting others, loving others, kind of getting out of that deep, dark kind of place inside, things shift for us. It becomes this incredible win that doesn't, at moments, it doesn't even seem that that's possible, but simply that turning outward changes things, and the light is there, which you just expressed so gorgeously, Santa. Thank you for that.
Why, thank you. And just to remember, too, holding on to the feelings that we have inside is not necessarily a bad thing, but adding to them the joy of giving, the joy of communing with another person, the joy of celebration can all join in with that to make a more complete and happy you.
That's really beautiful. Santa, do you think, I mean, as you were talking, I got to thinking about music and how important music is at the holiday season. And music is generally a shared experience. And I wonder if it exists for the very reason you're talking about.
Oh, it's funny you should ask, because when we are up at the workshop, you would not believe the sounds that go on. There are songs in every corner of the building going on, and together, instead of a cacophony of sounds, it is a joyful celebration of sound. So I love that so many people have created songs not only of a religious or a spiritual variety, but simple songs of celebration. I think of the one Thanksgiving song that leads into all the songs that we have. And as I taught my elves, we found out the story of prepositions in over the river and through the wood to grandmother's house we go. Oh, what a great way to teach prepositional phrases.
Oh my goodness, Santa, I never thought about that. That's perfect. It speaks to the English teacher in my heart.
Santa, when I think about just all the things you've done in my life, and of course everybody's lives around me, and how much giving and hope you bring throughout the whole year. And I know that there's people who can't do things as extravagantly as you do, right? They can't give to every child in the world. What would you suggest, I guess, for them to do to kind of bring some of that peace and hope into their own lives during this season, especially?
What a beautiful thought to share that. I've run into more than one person with that concern.
Mm.
And I've thought that a kind word can go so far. If one is in line at the grocery store, for instance, saying hello or wishing happy holidays or offering to pick something up that's fallen on the floor, just a small act of kindness goes a very, very long way this time of the year.
I love that. I love that. It costs nothing, right? I love that.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that reminder, Santa. I think I thank you. I'm personally thanking you for that reminder to
You're
keep that.
very welcome, my dear.
Thank you, thank you. So, Santa, you do so much great work in the world, and I assume you have tremendous support around you in order to help hold you up for all that you do. But can you tell us a little bit about who in your world inspires you and really helps keep you going?
Well, the obvious choices, of course, would be my beloved Mrs. Claus, who is there all the time doing everything behind the scenes. And then she gets to celebrate with me when we go out on the sleigh through neighborhoods. But even on Christmas Eve, she doesn't get to ride with me. She's already cleaning up and getting things set. I must think also of the elves that help so much. Very important. But on a more personal note for you, dears, I think of what can happen when each of us shines our own little light, just a little light, that if we join together with our little light, even in the darkest world, we can light the way for those that follow behind.
I feel that in my heart, Santa. Thank you for that.
We can all be like Rudolph.
Yeah.
That's it.
Rudolph knows for sure this little light of mine.
Santa, I'm trying to think of what you would have been like as a little boy and growing up and kind of putting one foot in front of the other as you created, this path for yourself and this amazing, I guess, story that we all get to celebrate. What would your little boy, your 13-year-old self, your 10-year-old self say to you today? If he got to look at what you're doing today, what would he say?
I believe that my 13-year-old self would say, not bad, old man, not bad at all.
Yeah, not
I,
bad.
I hope so. Not bad at all is an understatement. This is some great work that you do, Santa, and we're all so grateful for it. So, Santa, um, here's a fun question for you. We like to ask this of our guests. I think, Santa, you know the sports world, right? And
Oh, yes.
when say a pitcher walks out to the mound, there's a song that is played for him or her. An athlete has a walk-in song, right? Santa, what is your walk-in song?
What a great thought. Oh, I've imagined it so many times. I believe it would be walking in a winter wonderland.
What a perfect choice. And I love that song.
Oh, that's a good song to love. It brings joy to my heart.
And I have to say, I'm already playing on repeat all of my Christmas music. And now when that song comes up, I'm actually going to picture you walking to the mound to throw out a ball. So I have that image in my head.
Or maybe walking to the mound to throw out a present.
Wouldn't that be fun? Just
Maybe
make sure
Santa,
we don't take Rudolph's nose.
we won't. Maybe Santa, you could get one of those like t-shirt cannon things and shoot
Oh,
gifts out into the stands.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Santa, I think we all have memories. I mean, I have memories from my childhood with you. I have memories from my children's childhood with you. We're still making memories today with you. I'm sure if I talked to my mother or could go back to my grandparents, they would tell me their own memories of you. How do you hope, I guess, how do you hope to be remembered by each generation? How do you hope to be remembered?
I think it was said best by another man, but you listen to this and see what you think. It goes like this: the work goes on, the cause endures, the hope still lives, and the dream shall never die.
I
I
love
see that as a wonderful thought for yous truly. If
Yeah.
Santa can live on through the deeds that need to be done, the light shining, the cause that endures, then things will be well said. And that was said by that young boy, Teddy Kennedy, many years ago.
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Do you remember all of the children, Santa? There's so many. There are millions.
You are correct. There are millions, and it is uncanny that I can remember as many children as I can, such as you, Donna, and you, Diana. I could not forget the likes of you and the desires you had. And I remember a few Christmases where you kindly gave of yourselves, girls. You kindly gave of yourselves.
Oh, thank you, Santa. We both, when we were little girls, we definitely liked to make things. We did a lot of handmade gifts with our siblings, for each other and for our parents. We wrote things and we painted things. And I think one of the ones we kids remember most often is when we would make ties for our dad. We would simply cut them out of fabric, wrap them up, and give them to him. And, he put them on to his credit, but we thought we were pretty slick in those handmade ties.
Handmade ties. God, I will never think of a tie that I give as a gift without yours now.
Oh, you're so sweet, Santa.
I'm
So,
trying I'm sorry, I was trying to think of all of the gifts that I got over the years from you, Santa, all of the different things that you would leave at our house. And, my memory is waking up Christmas morning and, of course, having to wait down the hallway for dad to get the camera ready. And we had to line up in age order. So I got to go first, which I loved. But he would video us coming out and we'd get to see all the gifts that you left for us. And one year in particular, I can remember, I think I was about 10, Santa, and I turned the corner and you had left me this yellow skateboard that I wanted so badly. And my brother thought for sure it was for him because there was no way Santa would bring me a skateboard. But it was my pile, and my parents assured me that that's what Santa brought for me. And I had so much fun riding that skateboard. Yeah.
Santa knows.
good.
Santa knows. And those Chicago trucks made all the difference on that yellow skateboard.
Yes, yes. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much.
Man, Santa, you really do know. Well, I want to say one of my favorite memories of a Santa gift each year, boy, we could count on it year after year like clockwork. It was amazing. Santa, you would put in my stocking and in each of my siblings' stockings, we got a box of 64 crayons, new crayons, the one with the sharpener in the box. Oh my gosh, that made it for me. I mean, a whole year worth of coloring with sharp pointed crayons. That was good stuff, man. You knew exactly what it was that this little girl wanted. So thank you.
Those crayon sharpeners made a big difference for artists like you. Without that, those broken crayons pile up, don't they?
They do. They do. But boy, if you're crafty, you can learn to make little wax melted wax projects with those crayons too. They can go on endlessly. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
They do. I remember many children leaving me stained glass windows
Hmm.
with the shavings of their crayons ironed between two sheets of wax paper
Yes.
and a frame cut out around it. Oh, they made my journey that night ever so delightful.
Oh, that's so fun. I want to do arts and crafts now today. I think that's what I'll do afterwards. So we'll go play.
Sandra, one of the questions we always had growing up, and my children have had the same question. So many of us leave you cookies and milk. Somehow you manage to eat the cookies and milk that everybody leaves for you. And I'm just wondering if there's one cookie that you might like more than other, or if you think that they are all equal and you enjoy eating them all the same.
I enjoy eating them all the same, but remember that once I come down that chimney on Christmas Eve, those cookies are magical and I can make them disappear.
Good thing too, because that's a lot of cookies.
Oh, I do add to my girth on that evening.
Well, I'm sure you need to burn up a lot of calories and all that work that you do. I mean, that's
Oh,
a pretty strenuous night. I can't even imagine.
I'm glad to be a part of it. That's what I can share.
Oh, beautiful you.
Of the opportunity to give and with all the magic that goes with this, it's a perfect combination for this old soul.
I love it. So, Santa, I think everybody wants to know because we know what you're doing all through December and leading up to the 24th, and you do your magical ride into the wee hours of the 25th. What is December 26th like for Santa Claus?
Why, it's Boxing Day, of course.
Well, that's true. So the giving continues.
Yes, it does. However, it's toned back quite a bit, and I get to observe it from a distance rather than being a part of the old experience.
Does Santa ever take a vacation?
Indeed, he does.
Well, excellent. We won't ask you to give away your favorite vacation spot because I imagine you would be overwhelmed with adoring fans if they knew.
Well, let's just say that
going.
my Hawaiian shirts are very well worn in January.
And I have to just remember one trip in the summer when my daughter was about 3 years old, and I won't say where we were, but you will remember this, Santa. We were on a vacation, and she jumped out of the stroller and ran to you wearing your Hawaiian shirt while you were on vacation in the same place as us. She thought
Well, that will happen.
it was a wonderful memory we have because she thought
Oh,
she
what a joy.
at Christmas time. So that was amazing.
Oh, gosh, what a precious memory that is. All right, Santa. So we like to do what we call our rapid fire questions. I don't even know how rapid they are, but we just have a series of fun little questions that we would love to ask you and just answer whatever first comes to your mind, if you would. You ready?
Yes.
All right, Santa, what color is hope?
Hope is the color of lapis lazuli.
Santa, man, you are an educated and intelligent man. I love it.
Santa, what does hope sound like?
Hope sounds like a single singing voice joined by many, many more.
What is a joy? Let me say it better. Joy is
Joy is the chance to share your gifts with others, and almost as importantly, for them to share their gifts with you. We need to be able to give, but we also need to be able to receive.
That is such an excellent point to make. And that sometimes is the hardest thing for us, right? Is to receive and to receive with an open heart. Thank you for that reminder.
Santa, love is
Love is the gift that always keeps on giving. You can never give too much love.
And it multiplies, right? As you give it. Gorgeous.
Love is something, if you give it away, you end up having
more.
Indeed.
It's just like a magic penny. Thank you.
Like
Santa.
a magic penny.
Santa, the meaning of life is
The meaning of life, if each of us lets our little light shine, as I mentioned before, then we join together and the light becomes brighter. And that light that is becoming brighter is our collective life.
Yeah.
And Santa, you're inspiring me.
Why,
Santa,
thank you.
of course, the theme of this podcast is hope. So hope is what?
Hope is knowing that opportunities lie ahead. They
Mm.
might not be the ones that you had planned on. Sometimes odd things will come up in our mind's eye, and yet in the long run, we work them out and we make the best of the situations that come our way. That is what hope is. Hoping for the best helps us to achieve our best.
Thank you, Santa.
For sure. Santa, that was just beautiful. And we so appreciate your time and your presence here with us. I mean, this is a treat. Sis, did you ever think that we would get to talk live with Santa like this?
Especially not in December when I know you are so busy, Santa. I so appreciate you setting aside this time to be with us today.
Well, it is a great joy to spend time with you, ladies. I've enjoyed spending time with you over these many years, and may we continue to enjoy this time together.
Amen to that, for sure. Santa, I want you to know how much you inspire us, and your heart of giving generates so much hope for us all endlessly, and we are so incredibly grateful, and we're grateful for all the ways that you let us partner with you in this season and in this spirit, so that we too can give and share in this wonderful connection with each other. Because it's so simple, really, isn't it? It's so simple to reach out and make that connection.
It's the
Thank you.
first step.
It's the first step. Thank you for that, Santa. Santa, is there anything that you want to share with us before we conclude? You've shared so much wisdom already.
Well, come in close.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
Yes.
I thank you.
Thank you, Santa.
We'll see you soon. I know. Take care, Santa Claus. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for joining us today on Soul Sisteries.
And thanks for sharing stories with us. We'd love to hear your stories as well and keep the conversation going, absolutely keeping the hope going. So we're really hopeful that you'll connect with our guests as well who have great stories to share. Go ahead and follow them in various social media platforms or live venues, wherever it is that they're performing and sharing what they do.
We would love to have you follow us on all of our social media platforms, subscribe and rate, as that will help us get our message of hope out to others.
Thanks for listening to Soul Sisteries.